What's up, Cloud Gamers? Welcome to the Cloud Gaming Extreme channel. This is another episode of the weekly Cloud Gaming News Roundup, where we cover the news for cloud gaming overall for the week. So we're going to cover Xcloud news, we're going to cover Geforce Now news, we're going to cover Stadia news, we're going to cover Shadow news. So again, if this is something that interests you guys and that you like, make sure you stay tuned to this channel because again, we do this every week. And so I have Chief.
Hey there.
What's up, Chief? So he's going to be discussing news with me on this video as well. So let's get right into it. To get started, we're going to start off with Xcloud and then end with Shadow News. So as you guys know, this was a week where Microsoft hosted an event called Xbox Exos 2020.
Xbox Series X.
It's it's crazy, but a lot of people, from what I was reading on Reddit and just on Twitter in general, did not like this event, and Xcloud was barely mentioned. And so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how we felt about the event and just give you guys an Xcloud update to begin with. So this is a Twitter feed right here about Jeff Keighley just asking his users about their reaction to the event. And as you can see here, not a lot of people, about 42.5%, they didn't like this event. They didn't think it was good. And personally, I thought it was decent, but it's pretty interesting to see how many people that was disappointed with this event. So Chief, what are your thoughts? I know you watched some of it.
Yeah, I watched it all, but as I think I was as disappointed as everybody else. If you watch the live chat, everybody's like, "Where's the gameplay?" The whole thing was touted as the first Xbox Series X gameplay of next generation games, and it was all trailers. It was all cinematic trailers. There was no actual gameplay whatsoever. So they kind of shot themselves in the foot there because they set themselves up to fail.
Yeah.
If they would have said a showcase of the new content, I think the reaction would have been very different. And also, we were expecting some more Xcloud news. They've been in the press, there's been loads of articles popping up recently about Xbox Game Pass and how they're going to bundle it with Xcloud, and nothing.
Yeah. And I believe this is
even snuck it accidentally into the Xcloud app.
Yeah. So this is kind of what you were talking about with Xcloud, just being bundled with X Pass. And again, this was a good platform for them to talk about this, right? Just to shed more light on this. And something that I'm trying to prep people for when it comes to Xcloud in general, just being a competitor to Google Stadia. I tell people, you guys don't have a lot to worry about because I don't see this being a true competitor. Because if you think about Xbox, they already have their ecosystem, right? They see Xcloud as an addition to that. It's not going to be something that, takes over or becomes a different entity in the Xbox brand, as to where, Stadia is its own platform. Xcloud is going to be an addition because the Xbox platform is already there. For instance, they have friends list already. They have a marketplace where you can purchase games. So this is just going to give XPass a way to stream those games in the cloud to where you can play it on any device that you own, compared to where Stadia is its own platform, its own ecosystem, and its own marketplace. So again, I don't see Xcloud being a true competitor to Google Stadia. What are your thoughts on that, Chief?
It does look like it's going to be more an accompaniment, more like the PS Now accompaniment to PlayStation, where you can download the games from PS Now to your PlayStation or stream them to PC at a limited rate. So what PS Now is limited to 720p. Hopefully Xbox will, up that limit somewhat, considering obviously they've got the Windows market already.
Right.
But who knows? But
Yeah.
the fact that they're bundling it with Game Pass does kind of mean that it's limited to Game Pass games.
Right.
So you're not going to expect any day one releases or digital kind of purchases to be available to stream to a PC.
Yeah. For instance, like a game like Doom Eternal, let me say that comes out right on consoles. Uh, I don't see that making its way same day release on Xcloud, right?
Yeah,
But
I've not played Xbox or PlayStation for quite a long time, as I've been mainly a PC gamer. But
yeah,
I'm not sure how new the games are on Game Pass. So
yeah,
I would expect them to continue the way it is.
yeah. They're not that new. they, I see again Xcloud similar to like a Netflix series where, for instance, if a movie comes out right 4 months later, we see it on Netflix, right? But the Netflix team, they have their own studios where they create, original content. And I do see Microsoft first party studio being that for, you know, um, the xCloud service. So if your new Halo comes out, your new Gears of War, Forza, all those games will be available like same day. But as far as like third party, I do think we're gonna get those games a little later,
Yeah,
which is so different from what Stadia is offering right now.
I hope so. I was quite surprised that PS Now had Spider-Man on there, and also they had 3 months available for Control, which is obviously
Right.
a new
Yeah.
game. So for that to be available on PS Now and downloadable and playable was quite interesting. But
Yeah.
so
Con-
we
Control
wait
came
to see
out
more info.
last. Yeah. Control came out last year though, right? It's not like same day release in a way.
No, but it was definitely newer than a lot of the
Yeah,
games on there.
that's
Like
true.
their latest releases included Final Fantasy IX. I don't know why
Yeah.
they put
Yeah.
that out as a big
Right.
thing, right? I've had
Right.
that on my iPhone for the last year, and
Yeah.
I completed that on the PlayStation. Was it 1?
Right. Right. It's an old game
It's a very old
for
game.
sure. Yeah. So let's move on to GeForce Now news. And as you guys know, it was Thursday yesterday, and every Thursday the GeForce Now team, they release new games. And what's interesting to me is the amount of games that they release on a weekly basis. It originally started off with like 5 games, and it was like close to 10 games, and now they're like releasing. It's been the second consistent week to where it's 15 plus games on the service. So just some decent games, and I'm gonna show you guys that in a bit. But I want to know, Chief, what are your thoughts on just how many games they're releasing on the GeForce Now platform?
It's definitely ramping up, and it's really good to see that,
Yeah.
after them losing so many publishers, that some publishers are getting behind them and they are getting those games out.
Right.
As you can bring out the list here, I'm not sure whether it's a day one release, but I think one that we might have missed last time was Squad, which was, I think, a day one release that landed on GeForce Now.
Yeah.
They've also got this Population Zero, which is getting a lot of attention right now.
Yeah,
So it's
that
great
that
to
looks
see that
pretty cool.
landing.
Yeah.
And I think one of the first demos that I've seen on GeForce Now of this Ghost Runner. So the fact that you can now start seeing some of those gameplay demos is
Yeah.
fantastic. They're starting to tout the platform a bit more. Also, they seem to have dropped a new feature, which Reddit users seem to notice first. So you've now got this specials, is it sales and specials area? I don't know if you've got the client picture there.
Let's see that. Tell me more about it.
But so they've put this section in, and when people asked about it on Discord, they're saying that they're trying to make sure that people can get hold of any specials or sales that are going on through GeForce Now to have the visibility of it. So it looked like they're starting to make it more of a shopfront, which obviously would give value to publishers.
Right.
Unfortunately, it does seem like a half-hearted attempt, because although that they've dropped these games into this sales and specials area, you've
Mhm.
still got to then go and find it on the relevant store and go and buy it. There's no links, there's
Oh
no
no.
information on what the deal is.
Right.
But they have put that Ghost Runner demo in there. So
Interesting.
that's giving it a bit of exposure. This has changed since it was yesterday. There was 4 or 5 games on there yesterday.
Huh.
But again, you have to kind of click onto it to see what platform the game is on sale on. And then you need to go to that store and then see what the discount actually is. Because you still
Interesting.
can't buy anything through GeForce Now.
Huh.
You have to go to the actual stores and get that.
That is this whole service is just tricky. They make things complicated when it should not be. And I think that's the issue and the problem that a lot of people are having with this. But hopefully, they find a way to streamline and simplify this to make it more user friendly for people to be able to find games. But yeah, it's not good. I would like to. The other thing is, like, if you do purchase a game, they have multiple stores that GeForce Now supports: Epic Stores, Steam, right? And I forgot what the other one was,
You
but
play.
Uplay, right? So you can have three different games, from you can have three of the same games from three different three different stores, and it's just annoying to know which one is which and trying to find which game is which. I just wish they had a way to simplify these things in this
Yeah, the
platform.
client is definitely overdue an update, but
Yeah.
hopefully this is the first step in them kind of trying to make that client a bit more useful.
Right. Agreed. So we're gonna move on to Google Stadia. This platform, I feel like, has been getting a lot of things right lately, and so it's good to talk about them in a positive light. They've had the free base model being available and launching about 3 weeks ago. From there they had to connect, and they've just been every week. I feel like they've been giving us an update on like new games that are coming, new features. And so I am happy right now with where Google Stadia is. What are your thoughts, Chief?
Well, they certainly seem to be ramping things up. It's
Right.
seems to be in a roller coaster of the last couple of weeks, and this
Yeah.
week's been no exception. They've launched, or they've announced another 3 games coming.
Right. How do
Uh,
you say that? The
Jotun
Jotun? Yeah.
and Sundered. So I think they're kind of the same studio.
Right.
Obviously, we got Dirt 5 was announced, but it's going to be
Right.
slightly delayed on Stadia. Not quite
Yeah.
sure the reasoning there, but
Yeah.
I think they may have some exclusivity deals that they don't want to kind of talk about. And this
Right.
chorus, this is getting major hype. I know this is
Yeah.
not coming till 2021, but
Right.
um, the gameplay trailer is epic for that.
It's so cool. What this Chorus game tells me, is when it comes to the next generation, I don't think we're going to see like a major leap in graphics, right? From PS5 to PS4. And I think Google Stadia should be able to hold their own. It takes developers a couple of years for them to truly take advantage of a platform to where you see graphics start looking leaps ahead compared to the last generation console. So with all these games that are coming out this year and possibly next year, like Assassin's Creed, Valhalla, and Watch Dogs Legions, and the new Rainbow Six and all those games, I feel like they're going to look pretty similar to what the next generation consoles are offering. And with rumors of Google Stadia 2 being released sometime in the fall, if that's the case, there's going to be better hardware in the cloud and probably offer better features like ray tracing. Hopefully, I feel like games are just gonna get and look better as years goes on for Stadia. So it's pretty cool to see this game. I mean, coming out in 2021, and they're already announcing it for Stadia. So I feel like sky's the limit from here with games that we're gonna get on this platform.
Yeah, of course, we also had the Assassin's Creed Valhalla teasers and so the
Yeah.
announcement for Stadia. And obviously, the big news of the week, wireless controller support on
Yeah.
Chrome.
Yeah.
Uh,
Huge
Absolutely
deal.
massive. Yeah, it's finally
Yeah.
here. It seems to be working amazingly well on PC
Right.
and Mac. And I think a lot of people, and I think you did a video on this for
Right.
doing it on your mobile as
Yeah.
wireless as well. And I saw an article earlier today that they are supporting Chrome OS shortly with it as well.
Yep.
Obviously, no news on iOS front, but across the board, it's just a blanket update. iOS is still holding their ground. Nobody's
Yeah.
got any news on whether Xcloud, Shadow, or Stadia apps or Geforce Now are going to get approved on the iOS app stores
Right.
anytime soon.
Right.
Shadow's the only one that I've seen that's got the test flight out there with a usable client.
Yeah.
Um, so still waiting to see on that front.
Right. I heard Apple is making things very difficult. I actually went and purchased an iPad just to see us, me and this channel. I like to test things, right? The challenge that you guys have given me is get Stadia running officially on iOS, not officially, but the Mr. Chi, I'm gonna call you that, did a video where he used Shadow to bypass and get Stadia running. But you guys are saying you want to see that happen through like a browser instead of using another streaming service. So I'm hard at work trying to crack this for you guys, and man, there's no leverage whatsoever.
Yeah, I've been
They are
trying as
very
well.
strict on just making sure none of this runs in the iOS platform,
But
which
Google's
sucks.
obviously helping them because if you try it and go, you can't even log in to the
Yeah.
Stadia
Yep.
website
Yep.
in Chrome on
Yeah.
iOS. So they have
Yeah.
Google are adhering to whatever Apple are telling them
Yep.
because
Yep.
previously, a month or two ago, there was a sign in button. If you went to open in desktop mode on Chrome on iOS, you
Yeah.
could log in. And then,
Yes.
then it wouldn't let you actually, it just kept touting the play on another platform.
Yep.
But now it's gone.
It's
There's
gone
just nothing there at all now.
completely. Yeah.
I'm kind of waiting for the next Chrome update to drop on iPhone because it's been a couple of weeks since they last
Yeah.
updated the app to see if they've like, oh, now there's wireless controller
Yeah.
support. We've kind of like bypassed their streaming
Yeah.
rules. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll see
Hopefully.
an explosion on
Hopefully.
Reddit if somebody cracks it.
Yeah. I feel like that is another thing that's limiting the growth of just Google Stadia from exploding, because a lot of people have iOS devices, iPads, iPhones, and I feel like once that's, yes, Google Stadia is free right now, but it's still limited to Chromebook, like tablets, PCs, Macs,
Samsung's,
yeah,
Pixels,
Samsung
OnePlus.
devices.
Yeah.
Once they start making it more available, someone posted, I think it was in our Discord, as to like what features people are hoping the most to see come to Stadia. And the first thing people said is make it available to more devices. So I feel like once it becomes available to iOS, man, we're gonna see some growth
Oh,
in
geez,
with
yeah.
Stadia for sure.
I think the Android front is Google's kind of phased launch approach.
Right,
And I think it's got a lot to do with this VP9 codecs and
right,
their faith in the decode. So, although a lot of phones seem like they should be able to run it, I don't think they want to take the chance of it being a bad experience, especially in the earlier days.
true.
Maybe a year down the line, they'll just say, oh, screw it, whatever phone you think you can
Right,
run it on, give it a go. And if it's
right.
rubbish, then you're going to moan about it, but it's not going to have such a big impact because, oh, it's Android 7 version that's 4 years old. Nobody's going to
Yeah,
really care.
yeah,
But if they started shouting about that now, then obviously the negative press bandwagon's going to leap on that and say Stadia
right.
doesn't work on Android devices. Boo hoo.
Yeah, yeah,
So I think it's still a clever marketing strategy from Stadia that they're not giving it to a mass market.
true.
They're sticking with the Google mantra of
Yeah,
slowly rolling things out, seeing
yeah,
how it goes, improve it, roll out more.
true.
But
I
yeah,
I feel
iOS
like
would be a
you're
big win.
big win. I feel like you're right on with that for sure. So let's move on to Shadow. And yeah, I feel like this is a company right now that is struggling. But there is a little good news, and Marshif is going to talk about some of the good news. But I'm still waiting to be able to get in. And it seems like a lot of people are still having the same issue. So hopefully they said the coronavirus is definitely affecting things for them, so hopefully they're able to get things back together. But what I'm hearing is they've been charging some people's account, and still not the people that are charging is still not even able to get access to the to Shadow. So that's kind of a bummer. But overall, we were able to get in with another of our community members sign in. And so we've been able to cover some videos. So let us know in the comments below what your thoughts on the videos that we've covered so far in Shadow. But yeah, so be expecting more videos on this channel when it comes to Shadow. But Chief, what are your thoughts on what's going on with them?
Yeah, so obviously we put out the Warzone gameplay on Shadow, and obviously
Right.
playing Stadia on
Yeah.
iOS,
Yeah.
albeit through an MFI Bluetooth controller, and actually Shadow hosted on the iPhone. But
Right.
I can't wait to get my hands on my own local one. The latency to the Texas data center is quite high for me,
Right.
but it's still usable.
Right.
It still wasn't the worst experience. I'm going to cover it in a lot more detail in another video later on this week, but overall, Shadow is a PC. It's a virtual
Yeah.
PC.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, although it's in the cloud, you still have PC problems. You still got to update Windows, you still got to
Yeah.
update your drivers, you've got to
Yeah.
install the games.
Yeah.
But it's made slightly less painful by the fact that you've got 100 gigabit internet.
Yeah.
So downloading that 90 gig Warzone takes about 5 to 10 minutes instead of about 2 hours.
Yeah.
So
True.
it is alleviated in some ways, and the graphics when you do get to play it do far surpass most
Oh,
people's PCs. So
it's
I will go into that in more detail. But the main
right.
Shadow news really this week is that they're committed that yes, coronavirus or the COVID-19 pandemic has slowed them down, but things are starting to return to normal. They're still waiting on storage from China, so they're sold out of storage in all of Europe. There's still some storage available in the US, but they're committing to their kind of activation times now of 5 to 7 weeks. So my purchase was March the 4th. So I'm actually approaching the 8 week, well, over the 8 week window.
Nice, nice.
So my
You're
order
almost
has
there.
progressed. So hopefully I'm going to see
That's
that pop
awesome.
soon. So I will be doing some more videos with much lower latency to compare how that goes, especially on the PC front, and how Shadow compares against actually buying a new PC.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. All right, so you heard it. We should see Shadow come to Mr. Chief pretty soon, and so where the latency won't be as terrible as it is right now. Even though it works for him, I think it'll be a lot better when the data center is closer to where he's at. So we're gonna end this here. Again, every week we'll do this where we'll give you guys a weekly cloud gaming news roundup. And so be expecting this again Friday, same around the same time. But appreciate you guys being here. Let us know in the comments what your thoughts are with videos like this. If you guys like this format, let us know what we can do differently. But again, thank you guys for joining. Appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.
Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.
Absolutely. Yeah. Subscribe, like this video, and we'll see you next time.
Take
Peace
care.
out, y'all.